Alright, what's going on, guys? Today we'll be tackling Rauh Base, which encompasses all of these like lower elevation areas here in the top left corner of the map. But first, since we got to Shadowkeep last time and triggered the shattering of Miquella's Great Rune, the seal on the seal that Miquella placed on Stone Coffin Fissure down Cerulean Coast has been broken as well, so we're gonna knock this area out first. If you don't have the Fissure Grace for whatever reason, start at Cerulean Coast Cross or anywhere you want really. Go down here and then just platform down this giant hole, and you should make it down here, no problem. So we will go down in this cave. My weapon's looking like right now. Might be might change it up and do another Milady session. I love this weapon so much. Alright, so yeah, grab this grace here, and then we'll follow the path over here, up to the right. Past the slime. Keep jumping across and try to quickly grab this item because some more slimes will drop. Some congealed putrescence. Kind of a mouthful, that word. And then drop down a couple times. Deal with this guy. I'm actually excited to test something today. So there's a patch yesterday or the day before. Somewhere around then. Very recently, as of whenever I post this video, that is 1.14, I think, and I didn't see that bug with backstabbing the golem guys in the forges addressed in the patch notes, but we'll see if they actually fixed it today, because we're doing a forge. So you could realistically ignore all these guys on the left over here that I'm about to fight. They're just guarding one of those deep purple lilies that you use to make eternal sleep pots, but just grab it because why not. This is where I originally, if you guys remember last episode when I like ranted about the new status effect and all that, this is where I like finally remembered to talk about that, because we picked these up here and this whole area is like sleep themed, but obviously I explained eternal sleep in the last episode, so don't need to do that again. Oh, whoops, hold on. Got the waterfowl set up right now. I think they also buffed Rolana's cameo, which is hype because Milady's just going to be better now. Mine will, at least, since I run wing stance on it. Let's go... Where'd it go? Rolana's cameo. Back to Milady. I think it activates faster, and they said does more damage, maybe? Oh my god. About to be an absolute problem. So yeah, whenever you clear all those guys out, go over here to the right. Take out that guy. I might be in love, guys. I'm not gonna lie. It's a little early to say that, I feel like, but, you know. Sometimes that's just the vibe. Sometimes it's an I love you on the first date. I've only killed a few things with the upgraded talisman, but I'm feeling it, dude. Shadow Tree fragment right there. Touch the cross. Get the grace. And I mentioned this last time too, I believe, but if you... So that's one Shadow Tree fragment. We're only holding one. Let me double check. Yeah, we only have one. So we did get Shadowkeep unlocked last time, and literally right inside the front door, first room, there's a hippo boss, and if you kill it, it'll drop 2 more fragments. So there's really nothing stopping you from going over there and killing that. That'll give you 3 total fragments, of course, if you include this one we just got, which is enough for another Shadow Tree blessing level. So if you want to go do that, you can. For organizational purposes, I'm just going to wait until the dedicated Shadowkeep episode, but it's an option. Talk to that guy for some cool dialogue, and then we'll go... I'll rest up here, I guess. northwest over to this tilted stone coffin thing. Jump down onto it, and then drop down again. And one more time. And if you're quick, you should be able to run through here and not really deal with any of the slimes. So let's get to the back of this cave. Get the Velvet Sword of St. Trina, which actually does build up that Eternal Sleep status effect. Then we'll run over here. Sneak up on this grave bird. Grab this flower thing. Land on a grave glovewort 3. And then up this next ramp to the north. Sneak up on another one. And then we'll go back up a little bit here. Take this guy out. And at the top of his ramp, or coffin, platform, whatever you want to call it, this item right here, Grave Glovewort 2. Alright, so for this next part, there's going to be these worm things shooting lasers at us. They're pretty annoying. If you sprint in any direction except right at them, they're not too hard to avoid. You can kill them if you want. I probably will, but if you wanted to run past them, that is realistically probably also viable. So you could just watch me clear the next couple minutes up to the next grace and figure out the route you need to run. Oh no. I thought I could sneak past that one. Alright, so those ones taken care of. Once you're across that bridge thing, we'll go over here to the left and run around and just trigger all of these explosions. And then we can grab the Grave Glovewort 8. Run back this way to deal with the guy that's still shooting at us obnoxiously. I remember, yeah, you can't sneak, but there's a guy right around the corner. Just be aware of that. So take that one out, drop down the left here, another Nectar Blood Burgeon, a couple of Smithing Stone 6s, one more worm we'll take out just to be safe. Probably run past this one too, but literally almost fell and died. Everything on this platform likes to explode, so just run past it and get the grace. Right around the corner nearby, Precarious Ledge, Grave Glovewort 7. And then from the Grace, we'll go northeast. As soon as you don't make that jump, alright, well, you know, shit happens. Where am I? It's gonna go make me go to the edge to get my runes back. There we go. All my great rune back too. We'll try this again. Hardest jump in the game. Nailed it. So we'll drop down here to the left a couple times. Being so careful now. Massive Putrescence Sorcery, I believe. Avoid these fire pot guys, try to avoid the slimes too. was close. And then, honestly, you don't really have to take them out. Grab the items on the ledge, and then we'll go up to the next level. There's a couple more skeletons shooting arrows at us. We'll take these guys out, I think, or at least knock them down if we can. Buy ourselves some time. I don't think they'll really follow you into this next room, but they could. So down here there's like a giant slime thing. If you have any kind of ranged attacks, that'd be cool. Weak to fire by chance, doesn't really seem like it. Also kind of just completely missed you, but... Yeah, like if you had to hop down here though and just fight it with melee, if that's what you have to do for your build, then I was like, I don't really want to leave the skeletons alone here in case they wander over to this and just have like a sniper perch to harass you. I'm gonna go down there and get my hands dirty. Nice, okay. Should have stayed up top. Down it goes. Get some dew gems. It drops a bunch of smithing stone 8s. And then out here to the southwest, there's a skeleton there, another one on the left they'll reanimate. If we hadn't like dropped down to the left right after the grace, you would just come straight up to this room. So that's where we're at in relation to the grace we were just at. Up here we've got this golden, ghostly, misbegotten crusader. Ow. Oh, that's not a heal. Yep, my life is over. Okay. Run it back, run it back. Nice. I'm falling for that again. Down he goes. So you get the multi-layered Ring of Light incantation from him. And then you jump across. Again to the left. Up this way and grab a couple of these flowers. Keep going just a bit further to get to the grace. And then it is time for the boss. So this is going to be the Putrescent Knight. The first time I fought this guy, I was using the great sword, like the Guts great sword, and it felt like his moveset just hard countered the colossal great sword moveset. I don't know if I can remember another boss that I just whiffed so many attacks on because he was constantly moving an inch out of reach every time I tried to swing. I'm talking like the rolling R1 like forward poke that the greatsword has too, like the long range quick forward poke, not even a slow attack by any means. So I do hope you don't have the same experience, but depending on the moveset of your weapon, this guy could genuinely be a huge pain. He just has like a really unorthodox moveset with weird timings, and he has these sort of like just writhing movements that make spacing pretty difficult. That being said, he is insanely weak to holy damage, so if you're having trouble, I would recommend treating it like a Deathrite Bird or a Ghost Flame Dragon and just lean heavy into holy damage as hard as you can. In fact, I might consider... I mean, I've got 49 faith. It won't do as much damage. Well, the holy damage might offset it, actually, but I might respec this to holy or sacred. Yeah, even going like Sacred Blade here too could be good. So yeah, anyway, the last piece of advice, just general advice I have for this fight, is to stay close to it because its long range attacks are generally harder to dodge in my opinion, and don't give as much opportunity for counterattacking, obviously. Not only that, but dodging backwards is going to get you into trouble constantly here, so just better to go in planning on staying close, I think. And healing is going to be tough in this fight. The boss hits like an absolute truck. Hopefully by watching the video you can see how long his combos are, and I'll try to point them out too, but you really just like, you have to wait for him to finish doing what he's doing, and that might mean like locking in and having to dodge like 3, 4, 5 attacks on like 1 HP before you actually get a chance to heal, which is scary and not easy to do, but you got it. So that's start the fight. Run to the end of the platform and jump down. Unfortunately, required run and drop every attempt, so even though it's mostly just waiting for the super long fall, this is honestly one of the worst runbacks in the game. Tiolier is also here to summon if you want. So aside from just his normal melee combos, the only really bothersome attack in phase 1 is this like horse. Okay, so this is it. Slams, starts a spin attack, then the horse, then another spin, then the horse again, and then another spin, and then he's going to summon back the horse. So that's one of those ones, like I said, it's really long. Here again, good 3 swings there. 3. Gets far away. Sometimes he likes to do this like boomerang thing, looks like that. And he just has so much range. Like, he does his long range boomerang throw, and then you saw him just like literally reach forward and melee me. It's crazy. And he just keeps going out of range too, like every time he finishes attacking. Even with the like super long wing stance poke, I'm not going far enough, it's crazy. And he floats up when he summons the horse too, so if you attack too early, he just, you know, you don't hit him. Probably going into phase 2 here pretty soon. He's gonna like rise up on this big sludge mountain, and then he rains down sludge, and it sends out fire, which you can jump over, but it also builds up frostbite too. You can do it straight ahead, and jump ideally to the side on that. I got away with just good timing on jumping straight forward, that's fine too. But yeah, so the thing with the fire is you gotta wait for it to like get to you. So you don't want to jump necessarily like right when it hits the ground, you don't want to jump right when he shoots it out. You just want to time it to like the pace that it approaches you, which takes a little practice, but it's not too terribly difficult. He has one other variant where you can like summon a fire circle that comes from behind you, so ideally jump backwards into it just so the timing is easiest or most forgiving when you dodge. That's unfortunate. I think that's pretty much all the yapping I needed to do though, so can't really think of anything else super crazy with his moveset that I haven't covered yet, so we'll get back in there, give another try, focus up. And like the wing stance distance thing, right? Like I was talking about, depending on your moveset, this could be a fight that you don't, or that you have a hard time with just because you can't reach him. I haven't fought him with wing stance before. That was my first time, so I had no idea that wing stance would just not give me the distance I needed to reach him. I don't remember what's in this flask, but send it. Usually likes to start with that attack too, so you'll get plenty of practice with dodging this combo. Oh, also casting during this is a good idea too if you have some spells. Second bit of fire is very delayed, be careful of that. And the closer you are to him, the harder it is to see, as you saw there, so, you know, I got greedy and went in for an attack when I saw him hit the phase transition pose, but maybe not the best idea. And he can just turn unnaturally for that. Just expect him to be able to face you for the spin. Two slams there. That's usually his full combo. I've been seeing mostly in this fight him just go for the 3 swings, but he can easily follow it up with the 2 overhead slams at the end too, as you saw there. I feel like usually he does that more often for me, but wait for the second one. Third one comes out a bit faster. Hit him with the cast if you want. Nice. That was kind of cool, actually. But yeah, down he goes. It's like, there's not a lot to it. He doesn't have a lot of moves, but they hit extremely hard, and the timing's weird, and the animations are weird. But, you know, it is what it is. If you can also, like, if you can get him to, like, just play nice with the attacks he's doing, he's not running away too much, he's pretty easy to stance break. And, you know, that's just going to require some aggression on your part, a little bit of luck, a little bit of RNG with the moves he decides to use, because again, if he runs away and you go a while without being able to hit him, it's going to be hard to build up that stance damage. But once you kill it, you get also the Remembrance, which you can trade for its weapon, or the Putrescence Vortex, I think it's called, sorcery that it was using. Make sure you rested that Grace though, otherwise an NPC won't spawn up here. That NPC being Tiolier, but once you come in here you should hear Tiolier mumbling. Just have to sit and listen to it for a second. I've talked to him a few times to exhaust his dialogue. There we go. And then you can go over here and speak to Saint Trina and choose the Imbibe Nectar option, which will immediately kill you. And you need to do this 4 times. One more time than the other insane thing you had to do in the base game, where you had to keep talking to a doll that doesn't respond 3 times before it'll talk to you. You know, obviously you have to kill yourself 4 times, right? Like, if you don't immediately realize when you walk in this cave that you have to keep drinking poison and die 4 times, then you're clearly just stupid and don't understand the lore. These quests are ridiculous, man. I'm so passionate about hating this game at this point. I wake up extra early in the morning just so I have extra time to hate. But after the 4th time, you'll hear Saint Trina's words on the death screen. Oh, and after the 3rd time also, Tiolier should be like talking again when you come in here. They don't have anything to say directly to you. You don't really need to speak to them, but that will happen. I'm just going to cut the video to the last one though. Alright, so this should be number 4. Goes to the death screen, and there we go. We can hear Saint Trina. I'm just going to skip through it, but once we've gotten to that point, we'll go back in the cave and speak to Tiolier again. And choose the option to pass on Saint Trina's words. He doesn't understand why we can hear the words, but he can't. And the answer is simple. He didn't commit to the bit and kill himself 4 times. But hit this a couple times, make sure you get all of Tiolier's dialogue. And then, actually, before you do this next part, you could go drink a flask with the twiggy cracked tear to be safe, or throw on a talisman, or sacrificial twig, sorry. Because last time I remember my runes were like just out of reach here when I died. I'm just gonna send it, I'm not too worried about it, but you could not... There's a chance you can't reach your runes here and we're going to get invaded, so if the invader kills you, you would lose your runes. But we imbibe the nectar one more time after we try to pass on St. Trina's words. I believe we hear another message here before you spawn. There we go. And yeah, so there's fog here. We get invaded by Teolia, and I remembered right, the runes just default where they spawn after you die from the poison are on the other side, so that's kind of annoying. So if you don't want to risk losing them, sacrificial twig, or it's here. Unfortunately, Teolia gets dog walked by Milady. So you get St. Trina's Smile there, which is a talisman that works like the Lord of Blood's Exaltation or the Kindred of Rauh Exaltation, where it's going to increase your attack power when sleep occurs within the vicinity. Or maybe it's just eternal sleep? No, just sleep. Okay. Talk to Teolia again. And then we'll go talk to St. Trina one more time. Imbibe the nectar, die. Final words about Mikola. Gotta kill him. Done. I'm down. I'll do it. No hesitation. All my homies hate Mikola. And we'll talk to Teolia one last time here. Pass on St. Trina's words. And rest of the grace again, or you could just die. I feel like that wouldn't be faster, so I'm just gonna run back and rest. For instantly killing you, it does take kind of a long time for the poison to run its course, I feel like. I'll come back in here. Teolia should be unresponsive. There you go. That's how you know that you've done everything you need to do here. And then at any point you could have done this, but now that we're done, we'll run around and grab all the stuff from the outside of the room, including St. Trina Disciples Cookbook 3. And with that, we're good here. Teolia's questline is taken care of until quite a bit later in the DLC. I mentioned Mikola's great rune breaking in basically every episode leading up to this one. And would you look at that, now it's in this one too. But that is the first real point of no return in the DLC when that happens. The next point of no return to look out for is when we burn the Sealing Tree, which won't be for a while. But for those that are not on their first DLC playthrough and know what I mean when I say burning the Sealing Tree, that's how far we need to get before we have to worry about Teolia's quests again. And honestly, most people's quests. But, well, I shouldn't say it. That's actually, that last part's just not true at all. There's a lot of quest stuff in Shadowkeep, but Teolia, yes. Now for the main topic of discussion for this episode, Rauh Base. Go all the way up here to Ancient Rauh Base, and I guess if you don't have this for whatever reason, in Shadow Altus, this pond here, there's a cave, go through it, it'll bring you out to this poison area, go through that, and then you just go under this big land bridge, and you'll be right here. So we'll follow this path going northeast past some soldiers. I'm going to just be stupid and run past all of this. Because I have some ranged attacks, so there's a couple of teardrop scarabs here. This one's going to try to run into that pack of misbegotten up ahead. There's a somber smithing stone 7. There's another one up here to the right. Lock on almost just ruined me. That one gives you the Ash of War scatter shot throw. And then if you circle around the back right of this building here. There is one more. Might have to like climb up on these rocks to my left to get a good angle on it, but I'm out of FP. Oh no. There you go. There we go. That was close. Somber Smithing Stone 9. And then, whenever you're ready, go through the front door here to get into the forge. And get the Telu's Ruined Forge Grace. So we'll go down from the Grace here. Get the corpse for Shadow Realm Rune 3. Go through the doorway over here. Lava slime drops from the ceiling. Smithing Stone 5. I'm also like just blind today for some reason, so if I miss any smithing stone just like scattered around, I do apologize. Just give the place the once over, double check, make sure you're grabbing all of them from around here. Jump across, over to the left into this room. There's gonna be a golem immediately. Nice. Moment of truth, does the backstab work? Yes. Yes it does. Good to see. I should test it with a spear too to make sure, but I feel like it should be fine for everything now, because I'm almost positive it did not work for Milady in the last episode that we did a forge. One more for the road. So, grab gas stone. Smith script axe on this corpse. Just double checking for smithing stones because I'm just not seeing them today. Drop down, smithing stone, and then jump across here. Take you out around the corner. Smith script great hammer. Once again, all of the Smith script weapons are throwable, even the massive weapons like the great hammer. It's amazing. And then we'll run up here and actually, hold on, before you go up there, while you're not in combat, I would recommend throwing on some crystal darts or crafting some if you don't have any. I've got 17 here. That should be plenty for this fight, but there is another one coming up, so I'm just gonna craft some extras here while I'm at it. Where would they be? They are. Let's make pretty much a full stack, why not? But there's two golems we have to fight in like kind of a small area right here on the left, so I like to frenzy them to make it a bit easier. Should take just 4 darts, and then they will fight each other. That hurts so bad, it's actually not even funny. While they do that, we'll just come down here and start looting stuff. Got some smithing stones. Check the corpse for more smithing stones. More smithing stones. More smithing stones. And an ancient dragon smithing stone. See how the boys are doing. You're not frenzied anymore. Can't have that. There we go. Crystal darts make your life so much easier there, it's not even funny. But once you got all that stuff, jump back onto the pillar here in the middle. And we'll go up here to the right platform, and before we go down either one of these hallways, let's actually just drop down over this broken railing on the left. Smithing stones, of course. And then in this room, this is not the room I thought it was. Smithing stone 8, go around the corner to the left. Climb the ladder. There's a couple slimes here to deal with. And then you want to turn around and jump across this gap. Down he goes, grab the loots. And then back across. This time we'll go up the stairs. Grab the smithing stone. See, almost missed that one. Absolutely did not see that second one on the first pass through here, but pull lever, that's going to make this pillar in the middle rotate. So if you die from here on out, here's the thing. You're gonna be... Am I disoriented right now? Yeah, over there, the other side is definitely the beginning of this place. So, if you need to get back up here, remember we climbed the pillar and we jumped to that platform right down there. The one down to the right was where the 2 golems were. Is that an item over there that I missed? Oh, it looks like it. You guys see that? Do I have the spyglass? Hold on. This is so unimportant, but... I don't even know where is the spyglass binoculars in this game? I don't even know. I don't think I do. I swear I see an item glowing over there. That's alright, but anyway, to get up to these platforms, obviously you need this to be facing the other way, like the pillar's high end to be on this end. So, if you die, just... watch the rest of how I clear this place, and the forge with the final rewards is right near the end of the top of the pillar where it is right now, and there's another lever that will flip it again. So basically just skip the part I'm about to do right now. We go down these stairs and clear this other room here on the side, and then you'll be able to flip the lever and get back over here. I feel like I made that way too complicated, but you'll see what I mean. Big fight in here again. There's gonna be a dude up top. Have to frenzy him immediately. One more. There we go. Frenzy you too. And then there should be some lava slimes around here. While the war's happening, we'll just run around and get all the stuff. I remember there being way more slimes in this room. Smith script shield, yes, also throwable. Captain America build is real. Usually this guy hops down when I frenzy him right away. Which is why I do it. He doesn't hop down, then it's like a 1v1 basically, and there's kind of no reason to frenzy him. But we'll take that guy out. Jump down here and deal with your buddy. Alright, that took a while, as it always does with the golems. So, with that room clear, we'll backtrack to the pillar. I guess we'll backtrack to somewhere that it's safer to jump to the pillar. Like down here, for example. And then we run up here, jump over to the left. Smithing stone, climb the ladder. And here's the forge for the final rewards. Get the Telu Golem Smith Ashes, which are incredible, and the Ancient Dragon Smithing Stone, return the entrance of course, but also here is the lever, so you pull this and it's going to move the pillar back to its original position. You should be able to get a running jump on it like that. You don't have to. You could also just kind of, you know, like I said, that ledge right up there is the beginning, so you could just jump to that and run through here up to this point where we originally hopped onto the pillar earlier in this place, and then go up and deal with those rooms up there if you did die somehow. But we made it through alright, so I'm just going to return back to the entrance of this place and rest up. And if you look at the map outside to the west, there's a pond over here. That's where we're going. And for this next part, this is another thing, I just prefer to run through here on Torrent. I don't want to deal with all the fighting. Kind of just picking up garbage items for the most part, so speed this bit up a little bit. There's a bunch of dogs and blood fiends in this pond over here, and they are guarding not a lot. We got some Smithing Stone 7s, some Sanguine Amaryllis, and then keep going southwest. Around the corner of this like last bridge support here, got a Shadowrun Rune 3. There's a huge war happening between Blood Fiends and Mesmer soldiers off to our left. Here we got some Sacred Bloody Flesh, some Sanguine Amaryllis. Is it this guy that's bigger than all the other ones? I think it is. Yeah, so if you kill the big one, he'll give you more Sacred Bloody Flesh if you're into that sort of thing. Otherwise, just keep going. Back outside here, we run south, hugging the cliffs on the right. There's a little camp up ahead. Hop off Torrent. Crack open this chest. Usually no one sees me. Get the Pearl Shield Talisman, and then you can warp back to Ancient Ruins base. Lots of chaos, not a lot of items. Get through it nice and easy. So rest up and go ahead and pass the time to night. And we're going to start running southwest through this valley. And just past this big mess of ruins and broken pillars. There's a corpse. Rauh barrow. I'm going to cut off to the left, use the trees as cover a bit from this archer. And then you can take these guys out if you want. It's really not too hard. I'm just going to do it. Once you get up to this one, the melee one in the background should start making his way here. So if you're like struggling with this guy for some reason, once the melee guy reaches you, he should just like friendly fire this guy and knock him down. Usually he dies before that point though. Pop my rune arc again. Oh, so close. Gotta be so close to going down. I hit you with the whole combo, I hit you with a charged heavy. There we go. Being very difficult today. Down he goes. Okay, so whether you fight them or not, just stick to this. It'd be your right side if you're coming from the Grace, but this upper section of the valley here. And towards the end here, if we're facing kind of west, southwest, past the golems, there's a little hill here with some sheep on it. And a corpse with smithing stone 8 or 4. And if you look southeast directly from there, there is of course a larval tier, which you might have gotten in a previous episode. I pointed it out. It wasn't nighttime for me personally, but now it is. And then just up ahead, if you follow these cliffs to our left now, there is a sealed spirit spring. I'm going to use the shackle to unlock it, but the rocks are just up ahead to the left around the corner. And this is that, let's just get this jump going while I talk. But this is that little plateau of Shadow Altus I pointed out in the last episode. Spirit Springs here down in Rauh base, so that's why we're doing it now. Where am I? Oh, that's right, there's 2. I was like, it looks like I didn't jump up, but why? Where's the Spirit Spring? There's also a painting location up here, but it's like, I think it's called Sacred Tower if you check your inventory, but the tower over there that the painting is of is not covered in shadow and all corrupted in the painting, so we're going to have to address that before we come back. It's got to look like the painting for it to work. So for now, we'll go in here. And this is a fight with Red Bear. Not a Red Bear, not the Red Bear, just Red Bear. Fight's pretty similar to the Beast Claw guy from Gravesite Plane. You can heal once as usual. A little slippery today. Sometimes he just jumps over me too, and I just get a free backstab. It's really funny. He has one roar incantation, if I remember right. Does damage like in an AoE, kind of like Grail's roar. Dear God. That was a little too close. Got comfortable, wasn't taking him seriously. Well, that's gonna get us the Red Bear's Claw weapon, Fang Helm, Iron Rivet sets, and with that, warp to Templetown Ruins nearby. And we've been here before, obviously, to grab a Shadow Tree fragment, so there's a decent chance you've just looted everything in here already. I haven't personally, but from the Grace, before we even go in there, let's go south. Just follow the cliffs to our right. Should be a little cemetery area up here. Spirit Gravestone and some Grave Gloveworts. And then you can run back to Templetown Ruins and along the south wall, pretty much straight ahead of where I'm running right now. There is, of course, a little hole that we can slip through to get inside. Pause. Around the corner to the right, kill the dog. Beast Blood. And then we'll run to the back left corner over here. Some Somber Spinning Stone 3s, or 1 I guess. And then jump up here, the stairs, immediately double back to the right. Oh my god. Hammering Jar guy. Get a Rauh barrow, get 4 Rauh barrows, Silver Horn Tender, and then if you look over the wall to the right, there's like a corpse dangling there. Just remember where that is, we'll be back for it later. For now though, just want to cross this cloth bridge. Right here on the bridge is where the fragment would be if you don't have it already. guess he just wanted to go downstairs. And then across this bridge here should be an item right here, some arrows, and then get ready to fight a horned warrior. Almost one-shot him, dude. This thing is ridiculous. Take him down. Oh, nice. Oh, I got the helmet and the gauntlets on one drop. That's crazy. But in the room that he came from, I can open up this chest, get the two-handed sword talisman, which is so sick. I've been saying since like way back in Dark Souls 1 that I would love for them to add a ring. Well, it would have been a ring back in Dark Souls, but a talisman in the context of Elden Ring that boosted your ability to guard with two-handed weapons, so you could, you know, use them viably to block, of course at the cost of giving up one of your talismans or ring slots. The deflecting hard tier is like an extreme version of that, but only for 5 minutes, unfortunately. But between that and this talisman we just got, which just boosts the damage if you're two-handing your weapon, I'm really glad there are like actually cool things you can add to your build finally if you just want to run around with a big sword. It's good to see. Also, I wanted to check, I feel like the helmet does something. Bolsters the strength of the wearer. Yeah, that's what I thought. I go see how much it is. It's like you get 5 strength levels for wearing that. So yeah, I couldn't remember off the top of my head, but I knew it did something. And also some negative effects too. It decreases your, what did it say, focus. Reduces the restorative effect of drinking from a flask of sacred tears. Interesting. Yeah, let's hop back on Torrent. I'll go grab that item I pointed out a second ago. Should be able to slip through the bridge here. We'll jump over here. Down to this rooftop. Smithing stone 3s. And then lastly go northwest. There's the last little section of broken wall here. A couple dogs guarding a couple of spirit grave stones. And then go northwest back to the Grace. We're all done here. So from this Grace, you want to look northeast. There's this giant pillar supporting the bridge above, and then some little ruins, little broken wall up there to the northeast. So we want to aim for that. To get to it, just run towards the pillar and then around the left here. And down here there should be an item, some white flesh mushrooms. And then take the spirit spring up here. Hop off Torrent, open the chest, get a couple beast horns, and then carefully jump up on this broken wall. Follow it around the edge. Get a couple smithing stone 7s, and then jump across to this cave. At the other end, find this little mausoleum thing. And inside, got the Divine Bird Warrior Ornus Ashes. And you could probably, I don't know, it would be faster. You could probably warp back to Templetown Ruins again. I'm just going to backtrack, go back down the Spirit Spring. This is faster, actually, I think. Alright, so, yeah, we're just going to keep clearing this whole riverbed, basically. So we're going to go northeast, follow these cliffs to the right, but when you first get to this opening on the right, this is not where we want to go. We're going to ignore this whole pathway, because this is going to take us back over to this area where the golems were, which we've already cleared, so don't worry about that. Instead, just keep going north. Keep following these cliffs to the right. And then up here, you should find a cave, which is what we actually want. Some poison traps in here. Not really a problem if you're on Torrent. I'll take out the Glimmering Jar. Get a Fire Sprite Stone, and or a few of them, and the Antiquity Scholar's Cookbook 1. And then out here, it's a giant pillar you can see, again, supporting the bridge up above. And there's a ton of pests over here to the left. These are the red ones I think I mentioned earlier in the DLC walkthrough. The white ones, the Forager Brood, are chill. They just give us stuff. But the red ones are a problem. So we're going to sneak over here to the right. Backstab this guy. Didn't really want you to fall. There we go. I get some preserving boluses. Now, like I said, there are a ton of pests here. We don't want to start a war if we don't have to. As annoying as regular pests are, just to fight in a 1v1, these are in groups of 3. And they have an even stronger version of the pest threads attack that you saw there. It didn't hit me luckily, but they're a huge pain to fight. And they'll keep spamming you with the pest threads attack even if you're pretty far away. So we're going to backtrack the way we came and just circle super wide clockwise around this pillar. And around all the pests to get to the other side of the river where there's a slope with a bunch of gravebird statues, which you'll see in a second. Just had to wait for that patrol to go by. Hop up here. You can fight him if you want. I mean, it's not impossible like I'm maybe making it sound, but I feel like I heard the gravebird jump down. I don't know. We'll go up here. Just a couple gravebirds to kill. And you get the Gravebird's Black Quill armor. And then you should be able to find a safe spot around here to drop down on these rocks or something. Around the corner in here, you can hear a teardrop scarab. Unreal. There we go. You get the Ash of War. The poison flower blooms twice. And we cross the river. You can just ignore the Horned Warrior, honestly. He actually has a ranged attack that can hit you from literally 10 miles away. So be quick here. Use the iframes you get from activating the Grace to your advantage. He's coming at us, which he's not really. He's just doing a slow walk. So I will rest up. While you're here, might as well pass the time tonight while you're at it. And then I wanted to shout out that Ash of War real quick that we just got, because it's really cool. So when you use it, you jump in the air and you basically do like a drop kick, but there's a big like wasp stinger under your feet that you stab into whatever you land on. You can see it in the picture there. And it builds up a bunch of Scarlet Rot, which is already sick because Scarlet Rot's super strong, obviously, and there's not a lot of ways to proc it compared to other status effects in the game. However, if you hit something with this that was already inflicted with Scarlet Rot or poison, it'll essentially detonate when it hits them. It clears the rot or poison that was on the enemy, but the impact of this Ash of War will do way more damage when you land the hit with the stinger. And then, since the status effect is clear, you can just go back to building up those status effects again. And of course, this itself builds up Scarlet Rot too. So it synergizes really well with items that are based around proccing those statuses, like the Kindred of Rot Exaltation Talisman, for instance, that I mentioned earlier. But that is that. Highly recommend checking that out if you haven't. Yeah, rest up here. We're fighting another bear, like a great bear enemy, like the one in Shadow Altus. So you could craft up some sleep pots here too while you're at it. I learned my lesson. I'm gonna do like 3 this time. Oops. Again, fire damage would work great here if you have it. And then one more note about this bear. Just like the Black Steel Knight in 4 of Reprimand, I have seen this one spawn with golden eyes, which makes it drop a stupid amount of runes. Like over 1 million runes without any rune boosting items. Because it drops like around 200,000 runes times 5 for the golden eyes. So that's 1 million right there. I would assume... I forgot to mention that about the other bear that looks like this one in Shadow Altus that we fought like in this pond here. I would assume the same thing works for that one, if this one can spawn with golden eyes. I just haven't seen it personally, so I didn't mention it back then. And I also think I mentioned this at Fort of Reprimand, but I watched a video one time explaining how the golden eye effect works. It's been a while, don't quote me on this. I'm pretty sure it was like a 0.5 or 1% chance every time you rest for an enemy to spawn with golden eyes. So, I mean, not super common, obviously, but for over 1 million runes, might be worth resting a couple times just to see if you can get it to spawn with golden eyes. There are other rune bears in these woods, though, so we're going around here somewhere, but to avoid the woods, just follow the river for a bit so we don't have to deal with the other bears. And right around this first pack of flying scorpions, we're just going to cut right up into the woods, just go basically straight west. And here he is. Got about a good 5 seconds to just lay into him. It's going to revert to normal sleep, which means you can get a crit. Halfway dead before it even has a chance to see us. Go back to sleep. Actually just insane damage. Get the wake up crit just because I'm feeling disrespectful today. And that is the freest 200,000 runes you could possibly get. Just confirm that, yeah, 210,000. Take this off, you get the Roar of Regalia incantation there, and then up to the right from where you found the bear, just to the northeast here, there is a corpse on this random ledge, kind of very strange place. We get the glorified attire, leather arm wraps, leg wraps, all that good stuff. Here's where it is on the map. And then straight ahead there, north of here, there's a pile of rocks with a few items on it. We got 2 beast blood, 5 throwing daggers, and 3 lumps of flesh. Basically just garbage. And they're guarded by not 1, but 2 rune bears. So I'm not going to bother with that at all. Instead, from where we just picked up the items, the armor I mean, go south. You should see the glow of a larval tear here, if it is nighttime. Grab that. That's where we're out on the map. From here, we'll go southwest. Get the Greater Potentate's Cookbook 8 on top of an actual giant pile of shit. And then go south. Bunch of coffins down here. Corpse in the middle of them with Grave or Ghost Glovewort 2 rather, and just keep running ahead to get to the entrance to some catacombs. Gonna rest up. So there's a pretty annoying mechanic in this one. There are gonna be a few basilisk statues, and if you're in their line of sight, they build up death blight. Before I say anything else, just know that it is totally possible and really not hard at all to just run past them all. Might be slightly more tedious. If you mess up, you might have to like hide behind cover for a second, wait for your death blight meter to reset. So obviously anything that raises your vitality would help here, but it's probably not worth wasting a talisman slot on that, honestly. There are a couple of ways to get around them. First, anything that makes you invisible. So you could take a dagger and throw on the Ash of War, Assassin's Gambit. I don't want to bother that imp yet. You could use the Unseen Form sorcery. If you don't have any of that, then just by following this walkthrough, you should definitely have the Lamenting Visage, I think it was called. It's a torch. There you are, yeah, Lamenting Visage. So the Ash of War on this only takes 9 strength. You should have that on pretty much every class, I feel like. But gives you the Blindfold of Happiness Ash of War. It's pretty cheap, and it'll make you invisible for about 15 seconds, which is plenty of time. I have seen some people say Mimic Veil works here too, but there was some conflicting answers on that one from what I read. I haven't tested everything because, like I said, you can just run past them with a little patience anyway, so it's not a big deal at all. If you have some faith, one other seemingly kind of finicky method you can try is using the Blade of Death Ash of War on the Black Knife, and it actually can disable the Death Blight buildup from the statuses, or sorry, from the statues. Does not work consistently for me personally, but it does definitely work sometimes. Maybe it's been patched since I wrote this, but there isn't really like any feedback in the game when you do it, aside from not getting any more Death Blight buildup, so I don't know if that's actually an intended interaction or not. It just at least did work at some point, so thought I would throw it out there. We'll run in this room, take out this first imp. Down the stairs nearby, and cut left, just ignore that guy for a second. Take out both imps now. Get some rejuvenating boluses, which you could also throw those on your hotbar to deal with the Death Blight. Gonna use the Ash of War. Doesn't make us look all that invisible, or slightly transparent, but good enough for this. Run out here, I'm just gonna ignore the imp until we're safe out of line of sight of the statue up there. Then you can turn around. That's not what I wanted to do. That's why I always have no skill on my offhand weapon. I like have a shield or something, so I can use my main hand Ash of War without two-handing it. Take that guy out. Another one around the corner. That smoke particle effect you just saw there was the effect running out. Both missed. Take you out. Back-to-back hatchet drops. It's crazy. Drop down. Grave Glovewort 3. Take out the other imp in here. Nice. No way that hit me. I'm suing. I'm getting bullied. Can't hit you. Alright, so through the only exits, down these stairs, and we'll take out this guy in the alcove on the left. Get the yellow fulgur bloom, red flesh mushrooms, and then down the stairs. And we'll ignore the straight path here. We're gonna like flank behind the enemies in there in a second, so just go down the stairs to the right instead. Step in here and back out to bait the trap down. And it can probably make a run all the way for this item. Under the stairs. And then we'll drop down. There's going to be a bunch of basilisks in this tunnel down here. Take them out. Get some Ghost Glovewort 9s, very good drops. Shadow Realm Rune 4, and then there's going to be a couple of imps in here. Can't remember where the first one is. It drops down around here. There you are. This one's behind us. Completely outscaled on that one, I'm afraid. And then you can climb up this ladder. So I'm going to sneak up on this. Hopefully I can one-shot them with a backstab. If not, and they like fall down without being dead, he's one shot. I can make that work. But the other imp down there is like a cannon imp, so you don't want to fight both of those regularly. I feel like the cannon is just so annoying to deal with even on its own, but especially if you're distracted by another imp. So just like frenzy them if that one falls down, so they fight each other. But you get the Ghost Glovewort 5, go through the narrow hallway, and then down to the left to get back to the spike trap room. Run across the bridge again. And if you look up to the right, there's going to be another spike trap to worry about. Wary of that. There's an alcove over here we can hide in. Do that. and then run ahead. Deal with these mesmer soldiers. And then this guy. Get the Black Knight Captain Hugh Ashes. Bait this down again. Then into the alcove. And this part you gotta be a little quick just so you don't get death blighted. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna climb the ladder and then we're gonna turn around and try to bait the spike trap down so we can jump on top of it. But we're gonna be seen by a statue up here. Or not. You take like 2 steps forward, the statue over there will see you. But this takes us up to elevated platform, Ghost Glovewort 6. Drop back down here. That's the statue I was talking about. Could also just go invisible again, I realize. So we're gonna jump up here, same thing. Jump on top of the spike trap. Up here to the left, we reach another elevated platform with the imp head lion on it. And then ride this back down. And you're here behind the statue, nice and safe. So this one is why I feel like the Black Blade Ash of War strat is like kind of a bug or something. Because this is the only statue that, well not the only one, but this is one that you can just obviously hit it right in its face, like we're right here. The first statue we see, it's like up on a ledge, so you have to hit it from range, right? But I've never hit this thing with that Ash of War and gotten it to turn off, so I just don't know. These guys might be worth frenzying if you had crystal darts handy. I took them off my hotbar, unfortunately. Just don't want to fight them both at the same time, that's for sure. Get the Knight's Lightning Spear. That's of course the one that the Death Knight used against us in a previous fight. And this one, it's a little expensive. It's like a little over 50% more expensive FP-wise to cast than regular Lightning Spear, I think. But you get more Lightning Spears off of a single cast, obviously, and it can do a ton of stance damage as well. That's the really cool part about it. Up here to the right, watch out around the corner. Yellow Fulgur Bloom, drop down the southwest. Off to the right, the bridge takes us back to the spike trap room where the statue was, but we're all done in there, so no need for that. Just go down the lift nearby. Now at the intersection up ahead, there's going to be a pair of Deathblight eyes that patrol up and down the hallway from one of those statues. This one I have gotten to shut down with the Black Blade before. Last time I came through here, I hit the floating eyes themselves with the Deathblight Ash of War. It didn't actually stop them or disable the Deathblight effect immediately, but by the time I got to the other end of the hallway, I realized that they weren't floating around anymore and the statue wasn't building up Deathblight anymore. Again, you can just run past them or use invisibility even, so I'm not really committed to solving this mystery personally. But however you do it, just go down the hallway. We're going to wait for these to pass. Wait for them to turn around, actually, and follow them. It's the safest way to do it. And when you go down here, watch out for the imp hanging above you on the other side. Climb up here, wait for him to pass. And then down at the end to the right. Take you out. Be careful not to go around the corner here. You'll see why in a second. But try to keep these imps to the front of the room here. And big imp over here. Not really like very much stronger than the normal one, but bigger, scarier. Get the Grave Glovewort 4 down these stairs. And if you have ranged attacks, I'd recommend taking out that caster up there. You don't have to, I'll show you how to run through, but there's something I want to like say in here, so I'm going to do it personally. So close. Come on. There we go. Yeah, you can like summon them from the floor as you saw there, so hiding around the corner doesn't really work. There we go. I'll have to deal with the other imp later. Got the item, Ghost Glovewort 8s, Yellow Fulgur Bloom. Oh, he climbs back up. That's actually like so convenient. So, the thing I wanted to say is just a funny thing. These walls right here, when the DLC came out, you could walk right through them. They didn't have collision and just fall into a bottomless abyss and die. But the best part is that you fall so far before you die that the Stake of America is no longer in range, so you can't use it to respawn. So you just get sent all the way back to the beginning of the catacombs. So like, I'm sure if you looked up on YouTube some like Scorpion River Catacombs invasions, you'd find some clips of people doing that and just luring people over here. It's very funny. We're gonna go down the stairs, or ladder, sorry. And great Ghost Glovewort here, and great, that's actually all that's down here. There's no reason to fight the Basilisk, so I'm not gonna do that. But at the top of the ladder, take a couple lefts. And then slowly go up these stairs, try to see where the eyes are. There they are. So I'm gonna wait for them to pass by. Turn around, we'll follow them again. And we're gonna drop down halfway across this bridge onto another bridge. Watch out for the imp behind. He didn't see us this time. Yellow Fulgur Bloom. And up here there's going to be 2 more imps. Which corner? Where are you? I swear there's one here. Maybe you're on this corner. Yeah, there you are. Unfortunate. You see the eyes are patrolling there. If you did deactivate it somehow, that wouldn't be a problem, but I didn't. Get the Ancient Dragon Knight's Cookbook 2, and we're going to go back to where the imp popped out of, go through this little hallway here. Rejuvenating boluses. Shouldn't really need those anymore, honestly. One more imp in here to deal with. Broken Rune, Yellow Fulgur Bloom. And then, I'm just gonna set, it'll probably be fine. Down here to the right, go down the lift, and I would say get ready to fight the boss, but you definitely might be sitting here with like 1 flask left in a dream, so I'll just say good luck. But this is another Death Knight, so it's not something you'll be completely unfamiliar with. Instead of dual axes, this one just wields a single great axe, more like a halberd, honestly. And you have a Stake of America here, so if you die, you're really only out a great rune potentially. So, let's get to it. All out of FP though, so I can't cheese wing stance, sadly. Grab attack, don't like that. You're taking your sweet time to get up. This one feels like it has more poise than the other one for some reason. I haven't staggered it out of an attack at all yet. Even with a jumping attack, charged heavy, like it's just not happening. It's kind of weird. Yeah, just, you know, kind of bad at fighting those as usual. Death Knight Long Half Axe for killing it, and the Cerulean Amber Medallion +3. And with that, we are done with Rauh base. Not a terribly long area, makes up for it with some super annoying catacombs. And I'm sure this episode will still be decently long since we did the Stone Coffin Fissure at the beginning, but that's just how it be sometimes. For next time though, no more avoiding it, no more running from our destiny. Finally, do Shadow Keep. So, I'll see you next time for that. Have a good one.